Hi, my name is Ryan Jacobs, and last week my cousin came to stay with us and she brought along this handsome fellow. His name is Patch. And there's a rule that says you can't have a Dalmatian stay in your house and not take some photos. So that's what I did, and then I went up to the darkroom to print those photos. And the point of this video is to show you that darkroom process. And I want to tell you a little bit about my philosophy of printing and just show you the basic steps. Starting with this one, the negative is going in the enlarger there. And now I'm going to guess what contrast to start with. Since this photo was taken in the shade, I'm going to go with a 3 filter. If it had been sunny, I'd probably go with the 2 filter, assuming my negative is properly exposed and I'm not split filter printing or anything. And I'm also cropping in a little bit to make sure my cousin fills the frame. I'm going to check focus with the grain focuser, and now I can close down the aperture a little bit. So next I'm going to cut some 2-inch test strips. I find that 2 inches is the minimum amount of real estate I need to show me what I'm doing, plus it's really easy to measure with 8x10 paper. And normally I would expose these in half-stop increments, but to keep things simple here for this video, I'm just going to do 4-second increments. So that was 4 seconds, here's another 4 seconds with part of it covered. I'm going to cover a little more, do another 4 seconds, etc. for 5 such increments. In other words, it will have been exposed for 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 12 seconds, 16 seconds, and now this last bit, 20 seconds. So next, the test strip gets developed, stopped, and then fixed. I'm assuming you know what that looks like, although I will show you later when I do the full print. And here I'm looking for 3 things. Number 1 is the lightest part too light and the darkest part too dark. Number 2 is the contrast correct. And number 3, where is the proper exposure? And you can see at 8 seconds here, Patch's legs are too light. They kind of blend into each other. But at 12 seconds, that leg is perfectly defined. And this is the nice thing about having a black and white dog as your subject, by the way. It makes it really easy to see where the highlights and the shadows should be. So now I'm going to set my enlarger to 12 seconds, and I'm going to make a work print, or as I like to call it, the first pancake. As much as I would like this print to be great, there's almost always some sort of tweak that I could do, sometimes mini tweaks, to make it better. And by the way, I like to pay attention to how long the photo takes to appear when it's in the developer. That's going to tell me something about whether I do have the proper exposure. And in that regard, by the way, different darkrooms have different chemistry, and so different developers take longer or shorter to reveal a properly exposed photograph. So you just kind of have to learn the chemistry that you're working with. So now I'm going to take my photo out into the light. I'm going to take a look. And I notice 2 problems here. Number 1, the edge is a little blurry. That's a problem with the negative carrier. That's an easy fix. I just changed carriers. But this is the tougher one to fix. There are these bright spots on the trees, and it looks just too harsh and unnatural. But my boy Patch looks good, so I want to keep him like he is. So this is the tool that I need. This is a dodging tool, and it has all these different shapes. I'm going to use this rounded rectangle one. Now I'm going to add a little time, bring it up to 14 seconds total, but I'm only going to do 14 seconds at the edges because I'm going to dodge the middle where Patch is for a couple seconds so that that stays where it was, and only the edges of the photo will get the extra time. And by the way, when I do this, I turn the sound on so I can hear how long I'm dodging. So now I'm going to develop this print, and my goal is always for this second print to turn out nice. I want to have fixed all the problems from the work print. So this developer reduces the exposed silver halide crystals down to elemental silver, and then we're going to move it to the stop bath, which is basically just acid, because developer requires a basic environment to work. It can't work in acid. Then we move the print into the fixer, which strips all of the remaining silver halide crystals away and makes the print no longer light sensitive. So I can take it out into the light and look at it. And I also brought a print out with the original 12-second timing, so you could compare and contrast these two. Up top is the 12 seconds, down on bottom is the one I dodged, and you can see originally it was too light here on the tree trunk. But the 14-second exposure really brought those highlights down to where they should be, so it looks a lot more natural. But Patch looks great in both pictures because the timing is the same in both pictures. It's only the timing at the edges that has changed. Now the next step is to wash the print in the print washer, which is this machine that runs water over all the prints inside for about 10 minutes. And that's important because you want to get all the fixer out. Otherwise the fixer will eat away slowly at your beautiful photograph. And once the photo is washed, it goes through the dryer here, comes out the other side, and it is ready to mat and frame. So I know this was a pretty fundamental level print. There are some other prints I do that require a lot more work or trickery or knowledge, but I wanted to show you this anyway, just to give you a sense of the basics for what I do for every darkroom print I make. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. And also go follow Patch on Instagram. He's very sweet. Link is in the description. See you next time.